Welcome back. It's a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odem. I'm your host, J.O. I think mid intro there. I think I lost my voice just a little bit. Just a little bit. The nurse did say that was going to be a side effect. And you might be saying, J.O., what nurse? What the hell are you talking about right now? Well, we're going to get into that. It is officially story time with J.O. season. I've got a doozy for you. I was the talk of the hospital just today, and it's interesting because in this business you want to be talked about. Like, I do this podcast. It's not therapy for me, okay? I'm not telling you my stories and having fun guests on so that we can feel better about ourselves. No. And Johnny, he's not on the ones and twos just so that he feels better about his day. Absolutely not. In fact, I promise you, by the time he's done working with me, he feels worse about himself. That's true. No, we do this to get the people talking. And that is something that I did today. The folks at the Bergen Mercy Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska, they knew a little bit about me today. So it's that, it's the holidays. It's that time of year where I'm working retail. I'm working longer days. I'm working harder. There's just a little more to do. You got to put in a little more effort just to make sure that the people get what they need. And I've got the Crohn's disease. So sometimes that it's one of those things. I'm working hard. On the other hand, I am depleting myself from what I've got in me just to go every day. So I'm tired, baby. I am tired. My iron got incredibly low again and had a little thing called the anemia and had the blood tested, and they said, Jeremy, your iron's low. And I'm like, I know, that's why I came to you. And they said, let's hook you up with some iron. So I did what I've done many a time before. And set up the appointment, went in and got the old infusion, got the IV hooked up, and spent an hour getting the iron pumping in the arm. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to the nurse that I had that put the IV in, because generally speaking, this is not an easy deal for some of the folks, and I take full blame for that. Sometimes they say, Jeremy, you're not hydrated, or Jeremy, are you nervous? Your veins are hiding. And I said, yeah, I am nervous. I am nervous. I don't like needles. I don't like being here. I've got shit to do. And, so sometimes it's a 2, 3, it's even been up to 4 or 5 pokes to try and get the IV hooked in. Shout out to the nurse. She got it in the very first time. She goes, where do you want it? And instantly I'm like, well, I sometimes I try to just give advice, like, hey, generally they'll put it in my left arm, but we've had to put it in my hand a couple of times because my veins have been tricky. And some nurses will be like, you know what, I'll do the deciding here, and then they'll go and try, and then, then we're a couple pokes in. But this time, she's like, well, do you want it in your hand? I go, I want it wherever you want it. Thank you, Johnny. And so then she ends up putting it on the top of my left wrist, which was perfect. The vein was great. She pops it in right away. We get that baby rolling. Iron is pumping. I just want to preface this with, I did go to the bathroom before I sat down. I had to pee real bad. Like I've had, and I should say, this appointment was at 8 a.m. I had been working since 2:45 a.m. So I've had caffeine. I've had some waters. So I go to the bathroom. I go in, I get the IV, and now I'm going to sit for an hour. Well, then she's like, do you want anything to drink? I'm like, yeah, I'll take something to drink. So I have a nice crisp Sprite, and then I sit there, and I scroll Twitter, I watch YouTube videos, I listen to a podcast. I tell you what, that there's one, I think it's called Fly on the Wall, David Spade, and I don't remember the other comedian's name. He's hilarious. He's from SNL as well back in the day. Anyway, that's a funny show. I was listening to that. Anyway, that's not the point of the story. Everything went just fine while I was in the hospital there getting my IV. So we're wrapping up, and it's like they have to like observe you for a bit after they've fulfilled the IV's job, and the reason being in case you have an allergic reaction or whatever. And I've had enough of these. That's just, I'm not going to have an allergic reaction, so I just sit there. Well, I got to pee real bad again. I don't know if it was because I had peed earlier, and now it was like, all right, now it's go time for the rest of the day, or it was because I had that ice, like cold, crisp, tasting Sprite while I was sitting there waiting. But either way, I had to go. I was dying. I almost thought about asking the nurse because she had already unhooked the IV, just hadn't taken it out of my hand. And I was almost going to be like, I got to go. Like, I'll be right back. Like, you can stand outside the door if you have to. I'm not dropping. But I did not. I was like, you know what? I can wait 10 minutes. So I wait 15, and then she takes it out. And, I go on my way. Well, the first thing I want to do is now go to the bathroom. So I'm like, well, I know that there's one like in the hallway, maybe outside of the infusion center. So I was like, well, I'll leave this room and go out there, and that way nobody's like, oh, why is this guy still here? So, and I don't know why I was like wondering, like I was concerned about this. I'm like, this guy's still hanging around. So then, so I bolt through the door, but I see a single stall bathroom right next to the front desk. So I'm like, well, this is convenient. I'm just going to go ahead and use this bad boy, right? So then I hop in there, close the door. I'm peeing what feels like an eternity. Like, it feels like I've been peeing for a good 10 minutes. And I know that's a long time, but I'm just telling you mentally, that's where I was at. It felt like I was going for a long time. So then I got one of those, mid-pee farts where I was like, all right. And so I start to, then I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is not going to be just a mid-pee fart. I need to change course here. Okay, things were going down, and I don't know if it was the iron. I don't know if that can, like, trigger anything. Either way, I've got the Crohn's. I got problems, guys. I got problems. Sometimes things just are happening. Well, things were happening in this moment. So I flip around, right? No big deal. Take care of business. Except just as I start, it is so loud. The echo coming out of the toilet. And, these hospital bathrooms, they're just stone. Like, they're just stone. The echo, it was just bouncing off the walls. The sound was. I instantly was like, oh, shit. Does the door go all the way down? Because otherwise, the sound is going to escape. I'm right next to the front desk. Okay? I was very concerned about this. So I kind of like did one of those things where you try to like slow it down. Like, just, a little bit here, a little bit there. But it was tough because this was borderline emergency situation. Like, I wasn't leaving this bathroom without taking care of business. So I start to go again, just echoes. So then I start to slow down again, and I'm like, I could hear people. I'm like, do they hear me? And I couldn't quite hear what the guy was saying, but I could hear the girls at the front desk, and she said, oh, this happens all the time. And I'm like, oh, shit, they're talking about me. People must go to this one stall right next to the front desk and just rip shit up. And they probably can hear it all day long. I had zero intentions of doing this today. Zero intentions of utilizing their restroom in this way. It was an emergency. Like, I'm at the hospital. I'm sure worse things happened in that building today, right? I'm sure of it. But either way, I'm going, and I have to decide, do I just keep going slow, a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there, or do I just full on go, let it echo out the halls, and then try to get out of there? Well, I do just that. It was a chorus. And then I'm like, well, what if I wait this out just a little bit longer, and then hopefully they'll think I already left, and they'll just kind of like forget that this happened, right? I still hear a little bit of chatter out there, and I'm all right. I've waited long enough. I gotta try to get out of here. Wash my hands, dry them up, open the door. There was a fucking guy standing there waiting. We made very brief eye contact, and it was here's the thing. I looked away. He also looked away. I know they all could hear me. I mean, it was echoing through the hall. Echoing. Like, it's supposed to be a private business situation, right? You're supposed to be able to do your thing. It doesn't have to be so public. There was a waiting room full of people, the front desk, 3-4 girls. I know they were talking about it. Certainly they could hear it. So then I jet out of there, right? I go to the right. I exit the waiting room immediately, and I start walking down the hall. Well, I just happened to have another appointment upstairs, a follow-up from a previous time I was there. And I'm like, I got to figure out how to get up there without going back and seeing those folks again. Well, that's where I got a little bit lost, and I had to circle back and go to the elevator, which was in the waiting room of the very place that I used the restroom. So I just kept my head down, pushed the button, went upstairs. It was fine. It was already tough because I'm nervous about putting the IV in. When you check in, they weigh you. I'm, 5 pounds from my heaviest I've ever been. So I'm like, well, this sucks. They better be able to put the IV in. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, I've already got this weight problem. Like, at least be able to put the IV in, right? They do that, but then I almost shit myself right there at the front desk. It's awful. But then I go upstairs, right? And I go up to my follow-up. And then, they act like I haven't been there yet today, so they have to check my weight, my height, and everything all over again. I had lost 2 pounds from when I arrived there at 8 o'clock. So maybe it wasn't all bad. Maybe it was meant to be. It was just, they were just trying to hype me up. My body was like, you know what? You've been through a lot this morning. But we're gonna make something right, because I know you were pretty down about that weight thing. So we're gonna make it so you have to shit yourself, and then we're gonna give you another test on what your weight is, so that you can be vindicated just a little bit. I felt pretty good about that, at least. And then once that appointment was over, oh my God, I got out of there. Johnny, I don't know if you've ever. Do you go to the doctor? I mean, I know you stay in pretty good shape. You run a lot. I don't think you lift. But you stay in pretty good shape. I mean, I used to think, you don't go to the doctor really unless you've got a problem. And then once I got a problem and everything started to become, reacting to the symptoms of your problem, it's really changed my beliefs on the whole system. Like, we should all be going to the doctor from the get, healthy or not, and they should be just offering you great preventative care in ways so that you don't get sick. I mean, there had to have been signs that I was going to have Crohn's disease, right? Maybe not. Maybe there wasn't, but you would think over all the years of the world and all the years of Crohn's that there would be some kind of like signs that they could see, like, oh, well, we have seen that there is a chance that you, sir, are not going to be well the rest of your life. And here's what we can do for you so that we can try to help you along the way so it doesn't get so bad that you're in constant chronic pain and you're going to shit yourself. Like, those are the things that I'm like, well, maybe they could have seen that coming, but maybe not. Maybe it takes something to happen for them to be like, yep, you're right. Check the box. You've got it. I don't know. But that was a wild one this morning. That was a wild one for sure. Well, it's Thanksgiving week. Hopefully all of you have some time with your family, with your friends, with your pets. Take a break from work. If you're in retail work, maybe even just a little bit harder. It's always different for everybody. That was one of the things about working in retail is as you head into like major holidays and the people are like, oh, do you have to work on Thanksgiving? And it's like, yeah, I am working on Thanksgiving. Oh, well, thank you so much for being open. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Yep. My thanks is that you gave me the thanks. I now am going to enjoy that turkey, that cold turkey, just a little bit more because you gave me that thanks on Tuesday. How about, new rule, we all just like plan a little bit better so that we can get our stuff so that we can like all take the day off. Like that would be extra special. Like you're going to make it, honestly, without the store being open for one day, right? You would think. I mean, there's really just, there's not that many that the store really absolutely needs to be closed. Okay, obviously, it could be closed on Thanksgiving, or at least closed early. Maybe get those last-minute things, accidents happen, whatever. Then we got Christmas Day. Take Christmas Day off, okay? That's pretty standard. And then probably, all right, I'll give you Election Day. We should probably figure out a way to operate where Election Day is a national holiday and folks can take that off. And then the last, like, big one that I'm like, all right, we could probably make this work. It would be like Super Bowl Sunday. And then, it's just going to be this is going to be like Thanksgiving. Yeah, there's going to be tons and tons of food, but just plan it out, right? Just plan it out so that you can get your food set up ahead of time or have it ready to be prepared. You're just going to change how you make it, most likely, or heat it up or whatever. But then everybody could watch the game. Pre-game, baby. They do pre-game all freaking day long. And a lot of people don't know that because they're too busy working. Yeah, a lot of work goes into those pre-game packages. I definitely suggest checking it out sometime. Used to be something I enjoyed doing. And then I had to work all day. So if you listened to the Friday happy hour this past week, you heard me talking about the very phrase, the very name of our show, Laugh With Me, and I'm not going to name names. We're going to do a made-up name, but this Dawn and from Big Lincoln was trying to use Laugh With Me and trying to push her little comedy show. Well, let's just say things went pretty quiet on their front. So we're going to go ahead and declare that we have in fact made Laugh With Me great again. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I do feel damn great about it. We are back. Laugh With Me, home where it belongs, with old J.O. We will be back next week. Also, check out my other podcast, The Bottom 5 with Jeremy Odem. It's the 5 worst teams in the NFL, the reverse power rankings. Happy holidays, baby. Happy Thanksgiving, Johnny.